MCs, what's good? You want to kill it the next time you go in the studio? Keep watching this video. My name is Rich Latta. Make sure you hit me with a subscribe on the channel if you haven't, so you don't miss any videos. This is a video about maximizing your efficiency when you go to record in the recording studio, of course. Now, I worked as an engineer for a few years and worked with a wide range of artists where I live. I'm from a local legend like Tom G. I'm out of Tampa, and down to people doing their first song. Now, every single one of these artists that I've worked with all have their own way that they approach, recording in the studio. Some people like to get in and get right to work and be, just all about it. Get the verses laid as quickly as possible, and they like to go chill and hang out outside while I would clean them up essentially and get them ready. Others would like to turn the whole thing into a big party atmosphere where they brought a lot of people with them, and you kind of forget who you're talking to at times. But every artist that I was working with all kind of taught me something a little different, which I'm here to kind of streamline and share with you guys today. So the first thing you can do is arrive on time, even early. If you're at a studio that runs on a tight schedule, now I'm not talking about your friend's house, showing up late, even 10 minutes, is almost doubly damning, because it's 10 minutes faster that you have to wrap up so your engineer can be ready for who's next. You got your engineer working harder and putting more pressure on them to get you sounding just as good as it would have took for the normal time. It's on you to now mess up less, and you're not going to get that time back unless the engineer wants to put themselves behind. Keep in mind, there's always sessions coming in after you. Another thing I would say, memorize or be very familiar with your lyrics. Memorization can give you a certain control over your performance and delivery. Even if you don't memorize everything, a lot of rehearsal can cover up for a lack of memorization. As a personal story, I write my verses as if I was being set to rap them right away. I'm considering breath control, vocal inflections, and the overall delivery as I write. I'm trying to build up the muscle memory needed in the writing process to be able to deliver it immediately. If you can cover that during your writing process, I promise you, it will be easier when it's time to lay your verses. Never go in unprepared or unrehearsed. If this is making sense to you so far, write "kill it" in all caps in the comment section. Next thing, you got to remember why you're there. When I was, an engineer, I've seen so many people waste time on the vibe, whether it's rolling up L's or drinking or taking pictures of themselves or just fooling around in general. You got to remember you're there for a reason, the music. I'm not saying don't lighten the mood or use any substances to get yourself right. Some of the greatest stuff has come from that, but you can't let it consume you. And as someone that is watching this video looking for answers, you can't afford to be doing that. Don't be afraid to punch in a tough spot at the end of your verse if something isn't coming out right. Don't be a slave to nailing a whole verse in the same take. Otherwise, you're emptying your stamina, perhaps damaging your psyche, and it's going to keep getting tougher the more you try to nail it. Don't be afraid to punch in 4 bars at a time if you need to. Next, you should develop a routine for how you want to do your songs and stick to it, if possible, within the format. If you want to do your verses, do them all together. If you're putting in that time with the memorization that I mentioned before, that might be able to help you a lot here, and you'll save, your engineer stopping the track every time it comes for a new verse. You're trying to steal minutes here. And if you do your hooks, you can end up doing your verses the same way if you like to do those first. The last thing, I wouldn't bring more than 3 people with you to the studio. Perhaps someone that you trust to listen to your music, maybe a significant other, or even a manager can help you out there. The more people that you have in the studio, that's kind of like the more people you're responsible for. And when you're an artist, all you want to do is be responsible for the music when it comes to being in the studio. You don't want your homeboy in the studio spilling something. You don't want someone, asking the engineer all these questions and trying to interfere, trying to produce you that doesn't need to be there. So if you can cut out, the distractions any way you can and try to remember to memorize your lyrics, steal minutes where you can, be efficient as far as like getting to the studio on time, show up 10 minutes early. Can't stress it enough how much this will help you be more efficient, when it comes to you, in your music and, in your craft. But that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching the video today. My name is Rich Latta. Of course, hit me with a like on this video, hit me with a subscribe, and let me know how it works out for you if this helps you be more efficient. Peace.